Okay, this is not a World of Tanks video, actually. This is a talking video. And I'm talking about important things. Of course, I don't need to make this video. I'm making it only because of my motivation to think about the correct things and my dedication to it. But currently, the state of the world is in a really not good position. It's in a boring position. It's in a demotivating position because of what old people have decided to do because they're stupid. A lot of old people don't care enough and don't realize what they're doing enough like young people would do. Like young people would. And that's because they're old. Older means they had more time to normalize to things and more time to instead think about themselves instead of what's important. Of course, experience is important. You do want to experience. And also, I'm not talking from a script or anything. I'm talking straight from my brain. Experience is important. But also, what's also important is skill, not simply experience. A lot of the people that are in top positions currently are older people with a lot of experience, but they do not have skill. Their brains have become so normalized to how it is, they're not adaptable. And that's the reason changes are happening extremely slowly with things, and people are not getting what they deserve, and people are getting upset. There's a lot of upset in the community. I know there is. I know there is. I don't need evidence. I don't need evidence in a way to show it to you. I don't need to get up some graph. It's called common sense and looking at the media. The most easy way to know what the community is thinking currently is the internet. So basically, I'm making this video only to say that young people should be in the presidency more than what's been in the past and what's currently happening. They had Joe Biden for some reason in president. I'm sorry to say, but there's no excuse for putting Joe Biden as a president, mainly because of their age, mainly. But I'm not talking about. I don't want to get into this whole party thing. I don't care about parties. I could care less. Parties are stupid, anyways. We're a community. We're supposed to be a democracy, not a party. It's not a democracy if there's two parties that we choose a side on, and then our candidates are chosen for us by that party, by the head of the party, or by people in power. It's a democracy. It's supposed to be everyone together voting. But that's not how it works. You can't vote until you're 18. Yeah, it's disgusting. I'm sorry to say, but you don't need to be 18 to realize if someone's an idiot or not. All you need is some dedication, and that's what there should be a test on, is are you dedicated enough to know about someone enough to vote? because whenever I was younger, I was more than capable enough to understand. Of course, I've gotten more intelligent as I've gotten older, but I was still capable. I was more than capable, and I was outsmarting people way older than me, even when I was younger. But people really are focusing too much on experience. They really are. Experience is not everything, and one of the main reasons why people think it's everything is because the people in power are the ones that have experience, and they want to keep it that way. The best way to improve our life is to have people that want to plan for their future, not plan to keep things how they are or to simply improve them, but to actually change them. Or not want to change them, but be able to have the willpower to, if they needed to. If they thought, oh wow, this is terrible and it has to change. Because young people, they have that like no other. Like old people simply do not. At least the majority. There are some old people, maybe so, but what has been shown in the current, not current, but what has been shown in the past is that old people, they don't like change. And that simply is how the brain works. Whenever you get older, your brain starts to normalize and you don't want to change as much. It's how the brain works. So, this video is definitely an interesting one. I'll be titling it something. I probably won't get much views, but I can only hope. Um, it is what it is. If I don't, it is what it is. If I do, it is what it is. I'm simply wanting to make this video because I feel motivated enough to. And I do want to have more influence on the community. It sucks to have no influence and no ability to do what you want to do without going through so many processes in the world to get where I want to be, to have any influence on others, to have any effect, to have any credibility. It's like if you're not successful or you're not having the correct identification, you won't be able to influence the community. Basically. So the internet is the best way to do it because that's the only way you can really talk to people. Really, you can really talk to people and get things going and get things moving in the correct direction. Of course, there are a lot of people on the internet that aren't as important, that can actually make something change. But when enough people get together, anything can happen. So, because of that, I know this is worth my time to talk about this and worth me trying to make you understand. I do think I would be a good president. I really do. And I would listen to the community, not only do what I want and do what's correct. I would listen. And of course, I'm not saying everything that I should say now, and I would say if I was actually being recognized as someone being for president. So don't think that this is all I have to say, because this is not even close to all I have to say. This is simply a message to everyone to acknowledge some things and to think about them, to consider them, because things do not need to stay how they are. Things can be better. And recently today, I was actually thinking about a new currency. Not a new currency, but a replacement for paper money, basically. Just using metal, really. Metal coins. That's what I was thinking about today. Because paper is so inconsistent, so unreliable. Of course, that's not what this is all about, though. That is not even close to what this is all about. It's simply an example of my ability to innovate. A replacement for paper money. We don't need a replacement for physical currency, but it would be very useful because we still have a place for physical currency currently. Digital will be replacing a lot of things, like 99% of things, but there probably will still be a place for physical currency. I think I've said about all I needed to say at this point. It's simply interesting to think about. I hope that someone can understand what I'm saying. Because a lot of the times when I talk about these things, it's like no one even listens, no one even cares, and no one even understands. I mean, what I'm saying makes perfect sense. It really does. And I'm saying this also because this is a perfect time for me to get involved with people because I'm so motivated to do it. I'm so motivated to improve people. I'm so motivated to improve life for everyone and for myself too, of course. I want to be successful. I want to have an enjoyable life. I want to get more things. I want to have more fun, of course. But I also want people to understand how good I can be, how important I can be, and how valuable I am as a person. And in the future, I will continue trying to be that way, but I cannot guarantee it because that's the future. I've dealt with a lot of things in my life already. I cannot guarantee what's going to happen in the future. But what I can guarantee is me saying this now in this recording that is on YouTube, and hopefully it'll last. I don't know if this video is going to be like deleted at some point, but probably not. Probably not. I mean, that's too far in the future. Really, that's not even important. Let's be real here. That's not even important. Let's see what's going on though. Maybe this video gets some views. Maybe get some comments. I would like that. See what you all have to say about what's currently going on in society. I'm not talking about the nonsense slang, the insults that people throw at each other all the time. Or the fact that females are getting way too dominant and starting to dominate males way too much. I'm not getting into all that. I did get into a little bit there, of course, but come on now, don't focus on it too much. Don't focus on it too much. Don't get upset. But if you have reasons to give me, then I would like to hear some of your reasons for understanding me or for not understanding me. I hope you would understand me, though. And yes, females have gotten too dominant. It's crazy to think about, but they have. They are affecting males way too much. And we're letting them affect us too much. Females were always meant to be dominated by males. Males were always meant to lead females. They were always meant, especially because males were always meant to become leaders of other males. Because we're better in numbers. We're stronger together. That's why. And when you're united under one thought process, things are more likely to work out. And they're more likely to go that person that's leading, that person that's leading's way. I guess that's the best way to say it. Maybe not, but it's more likely to go in that person's way, in that person's favor, the person that's leading. And there are a lot of things females don't understand. And they try to say, oh, we're so capable and we can do whatever a male can. Yeah, you technically can, but you don't. On average, you do not. Majority, you do not. I've met many females, I've talked to many females. On majority, you do not. You can do whatever a male can. You absolutely can. Your body is capable of it. Your brain is capable of it. You have a very complex brain. The exact same, or maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more complicated brain. I don't know. I don't know the specifics. But that's not important. What is current is that females do not do as much as males. Females are not as capable as males. A male is way more capable than a female. Wait, am I contradicting myself? I am contradicting myself. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. I say capable. I say more capable because males they should be stronger and they should be better. They should be better. They should be leaders. They should be the ones in control. They should be the ones having an effect, more so than females. That's why I say that. But I'm getting off topic, definitely, but this was not part of the main reason I wanted to start this video. Absolutely not, but what I'm saying is still important. That's the reason I'm still talking about it. Males and females are both capable, very capable. Are they the same? No. No, they're not. No. We cannot say males and females are the same because a male is different from a female. You cannot say they're the same if they're not the same. That's how that works. Male is not a female and a female is not a male. That's how that works. So you cannot say they're the same value. Or you could say they're same value. Yeah, you can. You can say they're same value. Sure, sure. That's not what I was meaning. I was meaning that you cannot say they have the same capabilities. I'm messing up my words here, but if you simply watch the video and you listen to what I'm saying, you'll understand. If you stopped at a specific part because I said something you didn't like, well, then you deserve being an idiot. Because I know some people do that. They can't handle what I'm saying. They're too triggered. They get too triggered. They just stop. They stop watching the video, go to the comments instantly, and start typing away. And it's not even a joke. I'm not joking. It's a fact. People do that because they're so weak. They're so pathetic. and they don't understand. There has to be a fact. A lot of people like opinions nowadays, but it doesn't matter. Opinions are not as important as facts. You have to find the fact in the opinion. There has to be a fact. Not for everything, of course, but for a lot of things, for most things, and for very important things, like what's going on with transgenders. Give me a break with it. Give me a break. Give me a break. Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we saying it's okay for you to not be okay with your gender? That you were not even able to choose at birth because it's not meant to be chosen. It is not meant to be chosen. Whatever you are born as, you are that. You are that person. You can act however you want, but you should not be try to hurt yourself, to try to make yourself into a different gender. That is absolutely disgusting, and it is absolute nonsense that is being justified. And it's only because of weak people. People that are not being led into the correct decision, and they're having too many opinions. And people have forgot some of the things that are very important to understand because of the life that is currently happening, the life that shouldn't be, with a lot of the things I've said before, with people being upset. And that's because of a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses are absolutely giving no chance for anyone else. And there's a system of you can get a job here, but you do nothing, you get paid hourly. And then that's it. You get paid hourly and you do nothing with your life. Nothing that's actually important. Nothing that you get any recognition for. It's robots. That's what it is. And I really, I could say more. I could say way more than this, but the reason I'm not is because I don't know how much how much attention this video is gonna get. I don't know how many people are listening. I'm trying to say things, but I need motivation to say more. I will say as much as I can think of now. I will say that. But to say more, I need motivation. We can all talk about this. We can all talk. No violence necessary, like Charlie Kirk. It's very sad. It's very pathetic, really. It really is. It's very pathetic. It's very pathetic, and not only pathetic, but it's very stupid. It's not only pathetic, it's stupid. It doesn't make sense for our society, for humans. It doesn't make sense. There has to be a fact. There has to be. So, opinions need to stop. Opinions need to stop, and there needs to be a fact. And a leader saying that fact and giving people what they deserve from that. Not only the people that want that fact, but also the people that don't want that fact. And I can be that leader, even though I'm only 19. I've said a lot of things, and I want to clarify them. I do want to clarify them because I don't want people to think badly of me. And also, I don't want people to misunderstand and to start saying other things and start typing in the comments saying, "You're an idiot," because of this or because of I didn't specify enough or because I didn't talk as much as I wanted to about that specific topic. But I'll leave it for them to be interested in the comments. I'm done now. I need to stop. This was an interesting experience for me, though, talking to like this. This is the first time talking like this. So I hope it is seen. And I hope people will like it. I hope people will be interested in it because it's not only a bad thing that I'm saying these things. I don't like, even though if you don't like my opinion and you don't like what I'm saying, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It simply doesn't. We need to consider things that are very important and very difficult because that's what males do especially well, is that they consider things that are difficult. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. If you can't consider things that are difficult while controlling yourself and thinking, critical thinking, doing some critical thinking, and not being disrespectful and not being stupid and saying things that are absolutely retarded. Oh, I used the word retarded. Oh no. I wonder if that's going to that's probably okay. I've used it in many of my videos at this point, so it's okay. But a lot of males lack a lot of critical thinking currently. And it's mainly because of females being way too in control and affecting them so much. And also, it's because of, well, not mainly because I say mainly, but I can't say it's because of that mainly. It is because of that, but there's a lot of different factors, like the job market. All the jobs, they're not very motivating to do, like I said, where you're working on something and you get zero recognition for it and you get paid in an hour in an hourly wage. That's so boring. That's incredibly boring and incredibly demotivating. Sure, teamwork is important, but it is not as important as what is going on with these businesses and what a lot of people have made with all their money, all their wealth. They've made these industries, and they are manipulating people into getting what they want. That's all it is. It does not need to be this way. And guess what? the schools are helping them because the schools are making you more stupid. That's another thing. The schools are teaching you to obey. They're teaching you to listen to others instead of thinking for yourself. I stopped going to school at 12. Somewhere near there. 12 years old. When I was going to school, I was always more mature than every person. We're not more mature, okay? I'm not saying mature in the way of my actions. I'm saying in the way of my body and my thoughts and my feelings. I was always more mature. And school was hurting me because it was hurting me mentally because I knew life was so much better than this. This nonsense of having to remember so many different nonsense things that I'm never going to use. I haven't used a single thing in school that well, yes, of course I've used some things, but that's what I passively use. The things that are actually important are what I passively use. But other than the passive things, the things that I've actually that are that are not so important, which is most of the things, like 95% of what you learn in school is not important. I have not used, and all I've used, like currently, I'm not using evidence. I'm using, I'm using evidence, of course, but I'm not using statistics or like graphs I'm showing you on a screen. I'm simply talking from my mind. I'm not using a script. I'm not doing anything like that. Like people want to do so much, like the everyone else wants to do when they want to say something important because they can't simply think of it themselves in the moment like I can, which they can do, but they don't. Hmm. I've talked for long enough. I'm done. Oops. I didn't I didn't cancel. I pressed the wrong button. Very nice.